another edition of the Contractor's Secret Weapon weekly podcast with your hosts, Dave Negri. This program is dedicated to helping contractors, remodelers, painters, roofers, roof cleaners, and business owners in the construction industry gain an unfair advantage over the competition. This program supplies you with information that the competition doesn't even know exists. This session brought to you by ContractorsSecretWeapon.com.
Before we get into the conversation, I just want to do a shout out to our sponsors who help promote Contractor's Secret Weapon and just some of the things that they have in store for you, our listeners. Hey, is your phone ringing enough? Do you want it to ring more with highly motivated and qualified buyers that contact you, the contractor, directly? No more waiting for the phone to ring. Just answer that phone. Best Home Services leads are dedicated to making your phone ring with motivated buyers that call you directly. There's no obligation to talk with them. Just go to ContractorsSecretWeapon.com/money. Fill out the form to secure your discount on the setup fee. Do it today. This special will not last forever. Check them out at ContractorsSecretWeapon.com/money.
Running a small business is no easy task, and I should know because I had a service company for almost 10 years. I am the founder of a software called Radius Bomb, and it's unbelievable. And for all the listeners of Contractor's Secret Weapon, we have a special offer for you to check out. If you want to send hyper-targeted, laser-focused, super personalized postcards to your exact prospects using a map while sitting in your underwear, then go to ContractorsSecretWeapon.com/Radius Bomb, and we'll give you your first 100 postcards for free. Just go to ContractorsSecretWeapon.com/Radius Bomb.
This is Dave Negri here, your host, and today we're going to talk about a simple way to grow your business by 40%. It's called asset recovery. And you're all thinking, that boy's crazy. Well, if I had sat down to think about that I was going to grow my business by 40%, I would rack my brains and say, man, I got to do a ton of work. But I'm going to show you today. Now, what if I told you you could grow your business by 40% without adding any more marketing campaigns? That's no more postcards, no more mailers, no more. Just by doing exactly what you're doing now, but tweaking it just a tad. And I mean just a tad. It just blew me away when I sat down and went through about asset recovery. I'm still speechless as I go through it. You know, there's a lot of times we all know things. Like I knew this and I practiced it a little, but to take it one more step, I actually added 40%. I could actually add 40% to my gross sales. So before you say I'm crazy, listen to me. And you can actually implement this into your business very, very soon, like tomorrow. So let's just take a look at, today we're going to talk about leads. We're not going to talk about referrals. We'll get back onto that. Maintenance marketing next. But today I want to talk about this because I implemented it, tweaked it a little bit more than what I was already doing, and the results are just fantastic. So here we go. Everyone's spending money for leads. Now, the national average for closing leads, the leads that you get, is 30% in the contractor realm. Some a little higher, some a little less. I know in painting, roofing, plumbing, you're doing about 30% on the paid leads. If you're a builder, you're probably doing about 10% to 15% because you're talking about huge high-end stuff. But let's just stay in the realm of about 30%. Now, let's say that you have 100 transactions, and your average transactions that you've closed on those 100 is $1,000. So let's say you've done $100,000 worth of business. Now, that's 30% of the leads that you got. So you paid for 330 leads. You closed 100. Well, what happens to that other 70%? When I sat down and going through, well, that's not a bad closing ratio, but let's take a look at what the averages are for most people. Of that 70% that didn't say yes, didn't say no, that you moved on to the next sale, how many of those people actually will buy within the next year? Well, it's really an amazing high number. 65% of the 70% that didn't close, or you didn't close, is going to buy from somebody within the next year. So you've already spent the money for the leads. And we're dropping them out the back end, and we're going after more new leads. So the whole idea behind asset recovery is to take and work those leads. Well, they didn't say yes, but they didn't say no, so I only sent one follow-up. But now that I know that 65% are going to actually buy within the next year, I've put in more follow-up process into my sales process. So am I spending more money? A small tad. Am I implementing any new marketing strategies? No, because I'm actually taking something I had and I am expanding it out farther so that I can benefit from the results of the money that I've already spent on leads. So let's just run the numbers for the fun of it. But you've closed 100 transactions, $1,000 is your average sale. So you've done $100,000 worth of business. You've closed 30%. So that means you've purchased 330 leads that you paid for. You've closed 100. So that means there's 230 leads that have dropped off your radar. My radar too. I mean, I was just sending out one follow-up and I was getting results, but when I've come to the realization that 65% of those 230 people are going to buy within the next year, they called me and they called you. Why am I not continuing to follow up and follow up and follow up? Might as well. So out of that 230 people that fell off, 161 of them, can you believe that? 161 of them are going to buy within the next 12 months from someone, the services that they contacted you about. So what if you only captured 25% of that 161 people that fell off? Think about that. You just captured 25%, not even going after all of them, just 25%. That's 40 people. That's 40 sales that you could have if you followed up and followed up and followed up. That's another $40,000 just by this scenario. That's 40% added to your revenue. It's that simple. Now, if you had said to me, Dave, I want you to increase your business by 40%, I'd be going nuts and looking at this and looking at that. I gotta do more marketing strategies. No, it's this simple. Follow up on leads that you've already paid for. Put together a program that will continually get these people integrated into your system so that you can keep in touch with them at least through the year. Things happen. I've had people say, well, I'm not going to do it right now. Something happened. Call me back in a few months. Well, that happens. And there's a lot of people that just fall off. They contacted you in the beginning because they wanted to do something. So might as well just keep following up with them until they say, hey, I bought, or don't bother me anymore. So here's what I do. As soon as I do an estimate, a proposal, I send them a postcard thanking them for the opportunity to do business, to give them an estimate. Actually, I thank them for them giving me an opportunity to come out and do an estimate on the needs, that whatever they need done. You know, that goes a long way. Just on that alone, I've gotten business. I've gotten people that have just, in the end, when I give them a survey, they say, you know, the reason I did business with you is because you sent me that crazy postcard just thanking me for giving you the opportunity to come out and give me an estimate. I felt like you wanted to do business with me. Well, I do want to do business with them. Now I added a step further. So I programmed the card to go out as soon as I come home. Then I programmed 2 other cards for follow-up. One goes out in 7 days after I've mailed the first postcard thanking them. And it just says, hey, how you doing? Just wanted to keep in touch with you. And there's some other stuff I do, but and then there's the other postcard that I put out 10 days after that one. And then I schedule them for a phone call in about 3 weeks. Now, in that interim, they'll go on my monthly newsletter so that they'll at least know who I am. And what I'll do is after 2 months, I'll send them another card in the mail. So, yes, I'm continuing to spend money, but it's not a whole lot of money. You know, we're talking on an average of let's say your average ticket's $1,000. I know everybody's isn't, but that was an easy one to work with. What would you be willing to spend to get another 40 customers that you've already got in your funnel? Would you spend $100 in marketing over the next year? So for each one, so that's $4,000 to get $40,000. Yeah, I think I would. Well, I don't think I would. I know I would. I do it all the time. So it's just not about the money; it's about the return. You know, you don't send out a 27-cent postcard to get $1,000 job. I mean, it takes a little bit of money, but it's not a new program. And it is a new program because it's something that you're implementing into your process, your system. It's not like, oh, I got to do more marketing. I got to get more leads. Well, you know, you don't have to get any more leads because you got them. You just never really knew what to do them before. Your closing ratio can now go up. And if you're saying, well, my closing ratio is already better than 30%. Well, you know what? It may be. But if you're not tracking it, you're lying to yourself. So here's just a brief overview. You've paid for 330 leads. You've sold 100 at $1,000 a pop. I mean, $100 a pop. No, that's right, $1,000 a pop. So you've done $100,000 for the business. Could be a month, it could be a year. It really doesn't matter because the numbers are the same. You've got 230 people that an additional 230 people that you paid for. 161 are going to buy within the next year. You want to continue to follow up with those people and follow up with those people until they either buy or they say, get off my back. So remember what Zig Ziglar said. I hope most of you know who Zig Ziglar was. If you're young, then you'll have to look it up. He said, timid salespeople have skinny kids. Just go sell and continue to sell. So what you need to do is put together your system. Card that goes out when you go do an estimate and they don't say yes right away. Thanking them for the opportunity to just give them a proposal. 2, send out or put in your hopper automated 2 or 3 not postcards, but regular cards to go out in increments of 7 days and then 10 days after that and maybe 10 days after that. And if you're a phone person, then by all means call them. I'm not a phone person, so I'm not going to call them. Put them on your newsletter list. Oh, if you don't have a newsletter list, then listen. In the next couple weeks, we'll show you how to put together a newsletter and how to create an automated system to do all this stuff for you. Really, it's that simple. And like I said before, if you had tied me down and said, Dave, you got to grow your business by 40%, I would have kicked and screamed and said, there's no way. I just got so much work to do. But really, this is really a simple process. You're just adding on, tacking on to, or creating a system that you never had before, but on the back end of your proposals, of your leads. It's really simple. So also get Ryan's book, How to Double Your Profits in 6 Months or Less. He's got some tremendous information in there. If you just take 1 or 2 things and run with it, your business will grow. Simple stuff, real simple stuff. So today, have a great day. Next week, we're going to talk about basically how to keep your competition from stealing your customers. So that ought to be pretty interesting. I know it is. It's one of my favorite subjects. So have a great week. Thanks for listening to us. Again, I want to thank you
for joining us and investing your time with us today. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and if you did, go to iTunes and give us a shout out. You can also go to our website, www.contractorsecretweapon.com, and check out today's episode and leave us a comment in the bottom of the page. And if you haven't gotten your 15 secret weapon strategies to getting higher-end customers, get it while you're at the website. Also, I want to thank again our sponsors for keeping this podcast alive for your profit-making pleasure. And so go be profitable this week. Work smarter, not harder, and learn how to leverage your time and your knowledge so that you can be more profitable. Again, see you next week.
Thanks for joining us for another weekly episode of the Contractor's Secret Weapon Podcast with Dave Negri. We would love to hear your comments about this episode, so visit us online at www.contractorsecretweapon.com and let us hear your thoughts. If you are listening via iTunes, please leave us a positive review. The more positive reviews we receive, the more other contractors will benefit from this show. Thank you, and see you next time here on the Contractor's Secret Weapon Podcast.